Where do I go from here? It's a big question that is coming up to many people if you're on this journey. Where do I go from here? This year we went through a very powerful process of what's called individuation. The bird's right on cue, baby. You see it right out of the box. We went through a process of individuation. And, as we're living and going through this very dense time after the subconscious has been reset. I know that a lot of people are, tuned in. Some have been here, some are brand new. You check out a lot of what we have been discussing. Your subconscious has been reset, and it is it's overwhelming to feel the dissonance of frequencies from your internal as you go through what is a lacking in the external, if you will. During the course of this year, when you went through individuation, there were things from your past, maybe that resonated with you, or maybe they were things you had, it wasn't really you, but now it is you. Your inner frequency has shifted. Your identity has shifted, okay? And we're all asking the question, and this is going to be a very deep chat again today. It's great to see everyone. We're live. Great to see everyone. Brandy, Divinely Guided, Chris, Soul Stars, Jor. So grateful for you coming on. Appreciate you clicking the like button in the now moment. It allows others to get this very powerful podcast. A lot of people said that yesterday was one of the greatest talks they've ever heard. This is where we are in our lives. So many people are questioning life. I had a deep conversation with a friend yesterday, literally questioning the fabric of reality. And I'm going to say a lot of things for those that are very deep thinkers. If you're very, focused on your true ascension process, when you're seeing things that you see that it's not free will, like when you see glitches. So I'm going to give you the example of the Mandela effect. Like when you see reality, you say, wait a second. So it's very overwhelming to the body to see or experience stuff that and we're not in control of it. But if you've noticed a lot of glitches in reality, things that don't represent free will, your soul says what I recently shared: I refuse to do this anymore. And then you just let go. You don't participate in it. You don't engage with it. You're going to feel this at a soul level at this time. And it's overwhelming. You're going to ask yourself, where do I go from here? Are you asking yourself that question? Did you have that epiphany? Where do I go from here? And it's a place you almost feel lost. All of us on our journey, we have been through a phase where we kind of lived a lie, and then it's overwhelming when you're like, wait a second, was I just living a lie? And the main goal of this absolute threshing floor that we have been on, the chaos that we're going through. Quantum Chaos is the world famous video that I did, if you haven't watched it. This overall is a test or testing our intuition. It is a test of our intuition. And you really have to stop listening to people, bro. That's why it got so intense. It got very intense for me. And I've gone through waves of this. and there's always new people that are tuned in to this podcast and listening to these things, and you're going to resonate with this. Though some certain people, they might be weak-minded people in mainstream society, I always knew best. But sometimes we question ourselves. We give the power away. Click the like button. Leave a comment. I always knew best, and then sometimes you don't listen to yourself, and guess what? That's what I teach on this channel. When you don't listen to your gut, you might have, your gut is going to give you signals, and, your gut is telling you. And if you don't listen to that gut, it's going to be quite painful. It's going to be quite, upsetting. So we're being tested and refined. Our intuition is being lit up right now, and like we have gotten to a place. I feel it. I speak to a lot of you, some of you in person. Like there was an internal clock, and it's past it. And now there's like, you don't have the inspiration or drive. This is something that we all go through. And, kind of like feeling it, feeling that void. Talk about the void. It's a powerful place. It's also a very rough place to be, the void. I like yes and no as divine masculine. I know many of you are also listening. I am a man of direction. I like to move forward with laser pinpoint accuracy, but to move and still not have any answers. Free will. If you are a highly sensitive soul, are you a highly sensitive soul? Free will is something that you take very seriously, as I do. I lived through something this year that, my voice wasn't heard. I talked a little bit about it yesterday. How's the sound? You give me the 555. My voice wasn't heard. And, I'm speaking about my feelings, There are many leaders, healers out there, and, your voices aren't heard either. And I was talking about that, and that's how God, sometimes when I make the little whoopsie-do myself, the situation is the answer. That's how I go through, my reality. And the microphone wasn't on. I had this beautiful message, right? I realized it and fixed it. But if I didn't fix that, I would have this beautiful thing to share with the world, share to someone else. But if the microphone is off, there's no communication. And this year, my free will, I wasn't heard. And it's a very, very harsh thing to still sit in this energy, and to realize maybe you thought maybe I was heard, and then you realize maybe you weren't heard. You had it in your mind, maybe I was heard, and you still weren't heard. And this is why a lot of life has to deal with communication, guys and gals. A lot of it has to deal with communication. Years ago, this was a big representation of what we went through the world in the past 5 years. There was a time period where we didn't have a voice. It's a very painful thing to live through it, to not be heard. All right, because if a person hears you or people hear you, they assume things, but the spoken word. I did a very powerful video earlier this year. It was one when I had my fancy suit on. I was suited and booted for that one. Just talking about voice, talking about censorship. But you know, it has to deal with our everyday lives. You know, there's people in the world. We're talking about this reality, and reality puts these doors and things, and you're not able to be heard. You know, is that really free will? All right, because you know, if you, I always share this, and this is the answer. This is how I go to these deep truths of the universe. Awareness is the precursor to change. So there was things in my life that I wasn't aware of, and then once I was aware of it, I was able to make I had different, different feelings and so on and so forth. Because I said, this person or this thing is actually in resonance, but I wasn't aware of it. So when your voice isn't heard, it's rough. Are you a highly sensitive soul? Right? Steph is feeling, right? Do you feel this right now? Your everyday life, that's why I started this movement, okay? If you want to be part of this movement and learn every day, click subscribe. I'm so grateful for that. So grateful for that. Click subscribe. It's about our everyday lives. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter how many millions of subscribers are here, right? Because, you can bookmark these things. I call them receipts, regardless of how big this gets. It's your personal life. That's what's important. And just to live through years, so many things, devastations, right? I went all through this yesterday. It's an exploding video right now. You should check it out. It's your everyday life. And if you are a highly sensitive soul, if you're a person that lives out of love, it's really the simple things in life. And sometimes the simplest things, could be, prevented from real actual connection. Gatekeeper, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's open those gates today. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Very grateful. Stop listening to other people. So this is why it gets really intense. This is not my first, I like to call them seasons. A season of this, I went through however, this has gone on a lot longer. All right. So, as I teach all of you, I try to give the exact evidence of these things. The last time I went through something major like this, the length of the season was shorter. I knew it had an end date, but it was, say, more severe. It was more severe. Now, it's fucking grueling. It just keeps. It just absolutely keeps. It doesn't stop. I don't want to use my catchphrase on it because it needs to end. It must end. It already ended. And but it's not really. It's a different. Comes from a different place. It's not so catastrophic, if you will, but it could enhance. So that's why God puts us in these seasons. They have different flavors, different characteristics. I talk about neuroplasticity on this channel. If you know about neuroplasticity, you will build new neural pathways in the brain according to your experiences. I'll wait. The teacher in me is still here, kid. I'll wait. So that's why, if you're watching this channel and what I do here, you see, this guy doesn't do the same thing all the time. He's doing podcasts. He's going out in nature, making world famous videos. He's doing the YouTube shorts. He's over on Facebook, crushing it. Hit me up on Facebook, right? So why? This is building neuroplasticity. I have to learn all these new things, right? And I bring forth a different level or a different creative expression. When you go to different places, if you go to the beach or go by the pond or go up the mountain, right? You're building neuroplasticity. You're having a new experience. Epigenetics, okay? Your surroundings, right? There are other things. So we are being refined through a season or a situation. And this is called spiritual alchemy. Where do I go from here? Are you asking yourself this question? Has it got to this place? Your internal clock, and because you need inspiration. These are the things you have to look for. What inspires you? Watch the video. If you're new and you missed any of those videos from the past week, what inspires you? And honestly, when I'm not inspired, so God needs to provide these things. God needs to provide them now. What inspires you? And when you have inspiration, and you're going to see this, it comes from both ways. You have to be held accountable, and then you also have to bring it to God. Do you understand how this works? All right. So like your job itself, right? You want to pick the vocation, you want to pick the job. All right. That's your free will. That's where it comes from. That is going to keep you inspired, and then you keep going with it. When you pick, you have a relationship. Does the girl inspire you, or does she make you depressed, drain you? Did you go for arm candy, or did you go for the girl that inspires you? Did you go for the man that inspires you, or you just try to get his money? I talk to all the different people that are listening to this, right? What is inspiring you? I know this. I know the answers already. I've had all these examples. I know this. That's why God put me through these seasons. When you're able to reach inspiration, you're in a whole nother ballpark, as it's called. Trusting your senses. It's such an important time to trust your senses. All right. I go on side quests. I'm always studying. I've been studying. I like to call it. We'll call it the biblical model of the earth that we live on, and studying all these and learning all these new things. Right. And as I've been going through it too, we're trained since we're younger, and this was a time period. I'm training my senses. You have to, and some people don't. You feel a certain thing, but you just go with, okay, this is the model. This is the mainstream model. And you start looking at stuff, feeling stuff. Well, you do this with relationships. You're supposed to feel, right? You do this with your job. You're supposed to feel what resonates with you. Not going all into the subconscious programs. And it is very intense right now. Where do I go? And if you are, feeling this very deeply, leave a comment. Where do I go from here? You feel like you're lost. Miracles are part of everyday life, not loops. This is the new timeline. And that's the only timeline that we're interacting with. And this is how we command it. I hope everyone writes that in the comments today. Miracles are part of everyday life, not loops. I ain't looping no more. I'm done with it. You shift, it's in a moment, a decision. Miracles are part of everyday life. And those miracles charge us up. Silence can be golden, Casey. So I like to refer to the cheetah. When you guys see me, I'm chatting it up. Some of my gym buddies, I'm chatting it up with them sometimes. But most of the day, I sit in silence. And I like quiet, And you'll know this too. Like if you actually have a divine counterpart, like you'll just be able to sit in each other's energy. Nice, calm nervous system. Is your nervous system calm? Again, click subscribe. I'll teach you about your nervous system. Your nervous system is actually dictating the reality, not your thoughts that came from demented programs that are not real half the time. They were given to you, by mainstream media, families, jealous people, narcissists, right? And then you're running out of fear. Okay, you come to my channel. Okay, we say miracles are part of everyday life, not fear. And I shared this. I'm not playing that. I don't care, because people are addicted to the fear. I don't care. I don't care about, I got to get more, all this other stuff. I'm not part of it. I'm not part of the fear. Okay, you click like if that resonates with you. I appreciate that. Sick and tired. We're all sick and tired right now. I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Very grateful for the support. Uncle Mike, you inspire me, help intrusive thoughts go away. I appreciate that. Yeah, those intrusive thoughts pop up in that brain. I know, always talk about this. I hope, to live through this year, I hope I could help one person out there. I've seen love, I've seen things destroyed because of what's inside a person's brain. Fear. And hopefully someone out there will be able to experience love, experience wealth, experience these things. It's always the answer. This part of my journey is a little different because, when I'm in control of everything, I've always succeeded. And this is something that's a little different. But it's a grueling process to stop listening to other people. It's unbelievable when it gets so intense. Everyone, there's a phrase, everyone wants to throw their 2 cents in. I mean, do you know that most people don't know what the heck they're talking about? Do you get it? If you could hear my voice, right? Because some people can hear the voice, right? We're on different frequencies right now. Do you know this? Do you see it? I see it. And again, everyone's on their own journey. All I'm focused on is my life. I appreciate that, Rick. Appreciate that, Rick. We got to get our nervous systems correct. I really opened up yesterday. I have my own. I had to overcome the PTSD and from all the spiritual warfare from the previous years, and that stuff is gone. I see this behavior on Facebook. Okay, people are still running, and I'm trying to assist you through it. Don't get triggered. I'm trying to assist you through it. Certain people are operating out of things that are fit. It's not here anymore. But in your subconscious, in your nervous system, you are repeating this. It's gone. Do you get it? I hope this really helps people. I hope it helps people. You're operating, right? That stuff is over. 2021, all that stuff, 22, it's finished, right? We're already on the new timeline. So this void period is the nervous system reset, because that nervous system must be reset so that you can receive the abundance. And, you're floating in the void. I see the certain aspects of free will. I see violations. That's violation. That's violation. That's violation. Used to say that in Brooklyn growing up, in school, joking around. Violation. I see the violations. It's not right. I understand lessons and stuff, but as I shared in my very powerful video on the dark night of the soul. Did you watch that video? Seasons are meant to end, right? Seasons are meant to end, not linger. And there are things, there are energies that are, you know, there's nothing we could do. I go to the beach, right? Some days the waves are tremendous. Okay, it doesn't matter how big of a person you are, that wave is, there's nothing you could do. I get it. So that's why with certain things, I just gave it to God and I said, okay, then I'm done. There's nothing, because there's nothing else I could do. You must give it to God. You must give it to God. There's nothing you could do. And you still have no answers. You still don't know what the heck's going on. Where do I go from here? Because it gets to a place where it's like it can't go on anymore. You have an internal clock, okay? Please raise your hand, leave a comment. Did you feel this week, that the clock it's finished? I can't do it no more. Leave a comment down below. Your internal clock went like this. It clicks in. It's a frequency level. Carrie writes bingo, right? My internal clock, I can't do it no more. Right? Where do I go from here now? So I plotted out a diagram. It's a world famous diagram if you didn't see it yet. Okay? And I plotted it out. This is what I do with God. This is what I do. Okay? I plotted it out. 3 timelines. To be to that most high timeline, right? Or then there's other things that you could do. But if you keep pushing on that wall, if you cause no change, this is science, ladies and gentlemen. The definition of work in science. If you cause no change, you did no work. There must be enough energy to cause the change. I shared about, when I used to teach the kids and, Mr. D was pushing the wall. And it didn't matter how strong the muscles are and all this other stuff. If that wall didn't move, Mr. D didn't do any work. So God has to give us the energy. God's got to give us the spark, and it's got to be now. Otherwise, there cannot be any work done. You do not have enough energy. You don't have the bricks to build the kingdom. You need bricks to build the kingdom. Do you get it? So now we're all sitting here, right? There's a big delay, if you will. We're all sitting around in the quarry, right? You love this, right? We're all sitting around. Here's the royal family, right? Click the like button so people get this today. We're all sitting around, and we say, where do we go from here? Because if you know this, you can't push the wall. I know I can't push the wall, so there's nothing to do. Do you get it? Where do I go from here? There's so many people that are feeling this. You're saying to yourself, where do I go from here now? Right, Taylor? A lot of things going on. I put things in God's hands. I know when things are not right. Are you sealed in the forehead, like your Uncle Mike? Do you see things in the reality? You say, wait a second, there's something wrong here. Sometimes I try to put into words things that there's almost no words for. You're witnessing reality play out, and you're saying to yourself, there's something wrong here, right? Man, think of Mandela effect. If you ever Mandela affected by a Mandela effect. So you got to just put it in God's hands, and you say that you got to deal with it now, right? If you're new, and you say, well, this is, interesting, or maybe you're saying, what the heck's this guy talking about? I sat out by the lake and I gave you the video. It's called Timeline Wars. Did you watch that video? I'm going to share that link with our Patreon community, right? I'll share it on Facebook later. We'll get it out if you didn't watch it. And I broke down years ago, when I saw this, I actually saw things in the reality. All right, this timeline wars, this is stuff that's going on. It's got to be taken care of. Where's the gatekeeper? Is he still in the chat? What the heck's going on out there, bro? What's going on, bro? I could vividly remember, and there was moments in time, and I discussed that through that video with all those examples. It's got to be free will, and the main lesson that I learned this year. All right, so I connect all the videos if you are new. I did the video entitled How God Reveals the Truth to You. Okay, when your voice is not heard, it is it's devastating to the body. It's devastating. But that's what activates us. There's so much pain. There's so much pain in the body to not be heard, to have love prevented. There is so much pain in the body. You leave a comment if this is, and then you say, well, where do I go from here now? Right? Because that's where it is. Like you're going to get to that place where you say, what am I living a lie? Am I wasting my time? And again, it's always a lesson in Earth School. Then you back off it, let go. So I'm gonna let go. I told you, the greatest letter goer that has ever let go. Okay. So we let go. And then you say, where am I going from here? But I know it. I see it. All the highly sensitive souls, you're feeling it right now. You have to feel things. And that's the problem in this world. Okay? I got through my main lesson plan. That's the problem, is people, they're not in tune with their heart. So you need to achieve heart-brain coherence. I know there's people that have heard this term before. This is why I keep hammering it home. That demented brain, I witnessed this for years. For years. This is what's called self-sabotage. If you want your life to be better, then click subscribe. This is what we do here daily. It's daily. Because you don't do it for 1 second and then it changes. You have to maintain it. Yeah, Crystal writes, hemisync. You got to balance both hemispheres of the brain. Hemisync is what it's called in science. Balancing divine masculine and feminine energies is what it's called in spirituality. And what I do here is I teach all people. So regardless of your modality, you can learn from our everyday lives. I mean, I've been seeing it like out of control. This is not real. I say to myself, this is not real. And now I have experienced this. So as I share, this is like the greatest show you've ever seen. I say, oh, what a great reality show this is. I have more like post 2020. I had a few experiences pre 2020. But post 2020, so something has happened in the quantum, right? A lot of you know this. I had so many, this is not even real. How is this person behaving? How is it? What is it? How? I'm also here to tell you good stuff. Also, strangers have totally shown up when I needed them the most. It's true. They helped me and then they disappeared. Where did they go? Nobody knows. I don't know. I'm grateful for them. Maybe you're out there still watching me. I appreciate you. People show up, right? And at first glance, they might look a little mean or whatever. They deliver a message, boom, they go. Where'd they go? Where are they? Right? So it's all a test and a refinement of our intuition. People that are tuned into this message, you know that the world is changing and changing rapidly. You know, the heart-brain coherence is something that you're really going to want to make sure you have situated, because, listen, and I see so many weird, like there's people, I did a full video on this, AI's getting out of control. Listen to that podcast if you didn't listen to that one. I see people sharing stuff like in this, you know, I see it all, like some stuff is funny, right? I discussed all this, but I'm like, how do they think this video is real? Like, this is not even real. Are you seeing this already? People, oh my God, look at this. Oh, like it comes from like a ring camera. They played a ring camera, and there's like the kid is playing with like an animal or like a crocodile, and the mother's screaming. It's not real, and people think it's real. You comment down below. Do you see this stuff? Are you sealed in the forehead, bro? I really made this for everyday life people. It's true. Are you sealed in the forehead, bro? Do you see this? I do. Soul Star writes, spot on. They see this stuff, and I'm like, so heart-brain coherence. You got to feel the again. You have to use everything. Everything is balance, and the problem is things are not in balance, right? We're not doing the separate stuff anymore. We're not doing this stuff. We're doing love. We're doing abundance. We're moving forward with our everyday life. It's not in balance. And Almighty God's got to know this. And the balance and the floodgates have got to open up now. Because you're going to have to get to this place. Because we are the creators of the reality. And sometimes it's going to get real intense. And it has been intense. And then you say to yourself, where do I go from here? I know I'm not the only one feeling it. You click the like, you share it with a friend. If you're feeling you got to this, we're here, baby. We're here. Butterfly, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm very grateful. Thank you for helping us start our day in such a positive way. Oh, I appreciate that, Butterfly. If you would like to start your day in a positive way, why don't you click the subscribe button? I appreciate that. And we start the day off right. This is why I'm successful in life. Are you focused in the beginning of the day? When you start your day off with, you could start the day off with Our Everyday Lives. It's that frequency that you carry throughout the day. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Like, everyone's different. Like if you're waking up at noon hungover, you finished. Finished. I'm up early. I'm studying. I'm writing a lesson plan. I'm pumping. After this, I'm training. I'm getting healthy. I'm cooking. I'm taking ownership of my life. This is what this mission, this is what this channel, this is what this movement's about. This is what we have to do. And just put out that frequency. And that frequency will carry us to wherever the heck we need to go. Listen, I know what my heart feels. I know these things. And, you know, certain things are non-negotiable, as it's called. And, you know, when you're not getting it, you got to keep, because it creeps up in the reality. So you got to keep closing those doors, pushing it away, and focus on your North Star. Yeah. See? You see how I work with nature? The birds are back, baby. Yeah, I'm a big defender of free will. And when I see free will is not, if I was, it was denied or blocked to me, and I've gone through many different experiences with it. And I won't let it go. I'll keep pounding the drum. I do it for the family because I know you went through this too. We all been through this. My voice needs to be heard. In whatever sense of that, it needs to be heard because I know that it wasn't heard. Supernatural stuff, ridiculous. Now I gotta be heard. Otherwise, where do I go from here? It's a good lesson today, right? Are you saying, where do I go from here? Okay. Ooh. Spines are cracking all over the world right now. The energy's going through us. So, yeah, it's time for inspiration. You can't do it without inspiration. I'm being honest with you. When you have inspiration, when you have the right person, when you have the right, again, nothing outside you completes you. I'm not about fake positivity. I know all these spiritual bypassers are out there. It's like you got to have emotions. This is what I teach on this channel. We're not doing the spiritual bypassing. You've done the work. It's not a do forever thing. Now you got to have something. You got to have that spark that inspires you. And when you have that, you have an inexhaustible source, like a secondary sun, right? Don't take these things Captain Literal, man, okay? Like a secondary sun, an inexhaustible source of energy to create. When you have that inspiration. When the inspiration goes away, all right, where do I go from here? What are we doing now? What are we doing now, right? What are we doing now? Jeff's 6 writes, ride the wave and go. Yeah, you got to ride those waves, man. We're riding the waves. Are you a beach bum? Let us hit the beachies in the chat. So, yeah. And I don't know where I am going from here, but I know I have a lot of energy stored up. And if need be, we got 3 bars of power. And we will hit that Berserker Barrage X right out of the box, kid. Regardless of what it is. I've shared this many times over the years. Sometimes any change is better than no change at all. Right? Break the loop. Break the loop. It's crazy what you see out there. Crazy to see. And sometimes it's like it's, I don't know. But ultimately, like, we're on a journey of self-discovery. So when you're tuned into this channel that more and more people resonate with every day, keep clicking that subscribe. I appreciate that. There are things I'm a masterpiece at. I'm a master at manifesting them all day long. No problem, bro. Quick, boom, I teach you. And then there's a couple of things in my everyday life that I'm working through. But sometimes the hardest things in life, if you finally overcome them, it's your greatest accomplishment. And there'll be many more things for us to share here. The real life evidence. That's what we need. That's what we need moving forward, the real life evidence. So I don't know where I'm going from here. Where are you headed? It's a lot of lingering stuff. And you just got to hold that, just ignore it. Ignore the chatter. Hold the frequency. We are headed to the beach, Robert. Yeah. I know a lot of you like my my evening shoots out there. Okay, check those videos out. I left a motivational speech the other night. It'll pop up at the end. You got to listen to it. Listen to that whole thing. You're like, boom. You're, boom. Yeah, absolutely. BC, right? Share your testimony. You never know who it will help. That's why I show up every day. You never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. And it's just rough. I mean, a lot of people feel this overwhelming grief. Everything I'm discussing right now, if you're new, on the channel page. I mean, again, Pluto is direct. That represents our subconscious. This year was the 999 death. That's why we feel this way. Do you get it? Not easy. Not easy for me. But you have to, you got to say, I'm not tolerating it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. Where do I go from here? That's what the people are asking. Alma, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm so grateful for the support. Our heart energy will guide us. Keep going. Thank you, High Commander. So grateful here. I'm grateful for you, Alma. We're gonna keep going. Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's rough when your heart leads you to an ice wall, if you will. You just got to put it in God's hands. I appreciate you, David. I love you all, you know. And again, as I shared yesterday, you know, I'm tired too. It's past it, okay? I know people just came on. Does your internal clock tell you that it's past it? So you can't do it no more. So now you have to reflect on your life and you have to say, where do I go from here? And again, if it still shows up, that's okay, that's great. But again, when is it going to be okay? This is the dangling carrots. You get what I'm saying? When is it going to be okay? This might be the dangling carrot. That's why it's got to be broken open right now. And if this is resonating with you, share it, click the like, do whatever, put the energy on this. Do you get what I'm saying? When are we saying, okay, this might be the dangling carrot? I appreciate that, Jen. So I speak a lot of deep truths. We do zero spiritual bypassing on this channel. We take ownership. We are diving deep into all these things. We are focused on making sure our clairs are up. You got to have your spiritual sense. Do you want your spiritual senses to be online? Then you click subscribe, and I'll teach you how to keep them sharp. You got to be real sharp. I've always been a man far beyond my years. Years ago, I used to hang out with guys that were like over 10 years older than me. And I was telling them, you know, we're talking about like girls, women, or whatever. And I said, I wouldn't be involved, this and that. And they look at me and say, wow, you have such foresight, Mike. I said, if you do this and that, and I said, don't do it, right? Keep your spiritual senses up, bro. Stay sharp. Got to be sharp. And every day I get sharper. I've been sharing this on the channel, right? Like where I am right now, you say, wow, look how sharp this man is. But I'm far superior to where I was 7 years ago. 777 in the chat. And Queen Esther did train me well, and she's the best. And she was tough. Listen, I had to be, some people say, this guy's tough. I was, you know, but when you're disrespected, check out yesterday's video. When you're disrespected for years, and that's where the real kings rise up, because a lot of us, we just, very simple. Have fun, right? Have the friends, have the girlfriend, have the job. But devastations came to your everyday life. And then real men had to rise. When you only have God, that's the answer. No one will ever be able to take it away from you, bro. When you only have God, that's the answer. Got me? I told you this was going to rise one way or the other. One way or the other. So anyway, I don't know where I'm going from here. So I'm grateful for all the support. And just keep putting out the energy. And eventually, I'm looking for my next path. Is it a great message, Robert? I appreciate that. Yeah. So I love each and every one of you. Are you asking yourself, where do I go from here? Know that there's a subconscious reset. All this stuff we've discussed on this channel. Love you all. Is it a beautiful message, Steph? I love you. I appreciate everyone. And I'm grateful for the community support. All right. So if you love this work and continuing it, please, click the like, click the subscribe. I'm so grateful for everyone that became a channel member. It's a great support to keeping this going. You can connect on Facebook. I share on Facebook all day long. The link is in the description. We'll have a new video coming out on Patreon. Link is in the description, right? We even got the TikTok. I got to be active on TikTok again. Again, I do this all myself, and I'm on this journey like all of you. So this is why I'm telling you the truth. We all need inspiration to have the energy. This is not a lifetime of healing. We did the healing already. Do you get it? Do you feel it? It's time to have that spark released. That ice wall taken away. Let's go. So, but here we are. Here we are. So I really do I love you all. And, I appreciate you guys because I'm tired as well. So anyone that hears this, the greatest support, just keep sharing and getting the message out there. And, just like many of you, I didn't have my voice heard this year. And it's a devastation. And I'm just speaking the truth. I have the pain like a lot of you. We'll talk more about this tomorrow and throughout the week. And I love you all. So every day is another opportunity for greatness. I'm the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going. Love you guys. Bye for now.